Ever doubt your own attractiveness? It's time to rethink that. Today, we uncover the undeniable signs that you're an attractive man, even if you've never seen it yourself. From the way others respond to your presence to subtle social cues, we'll show you how to recognize your own appeal. Let's dive in. 1. People compliment you unexpectedly. Imagine walking down the street, minding your own business, when suddenly a stranger stops you to compliment your shoes. Sounds like a scene from a movie, right? Well, if this happens to you often, congratulations. You're radiating attractiveness. Unexpected compliments are like little gifts from the universe, telling you that you're doing something right. They're not just about your physical appearance either. Maybe someone praises your infectious laugh or your kind eyes. These spontaneous words of admiration are indicators that you're leaving a positive impression on people, even in brief encounters. But here's the kicker. It's not just about receiving compliments. It's about the nature of them. Are they specific and genuine? A heartfelt, "Your smile brightened my day," carries more weight than a generic "you look nice." The more specific and unexpected the compliment, the more it suggests you've made a real impact. So, the next time a coworker comments on your great taste in music or a barista compliments your energy, don't brush it off. These are little clues that you're exuding an attractive aura, even when you're not trying to impress anyone. Keep collecting these verbal high fives. They're signs you're more appealing than you might think. 2. Women seem nervous around you. Have you ever noticed a usually confident woman suddenly stumbling over her words or fidgeting with her hair when you're around? If so, you might just be witnessing the attractive guy effect in action. This nervousness isn't about fear or discomfort. It's more like the butterflies in stomach feeling we get when we're around someone we find appealing. It's that giddy, slightly off-balance sensation that comes from being in the presence of someone who makes our heart race a little faster. Think of it as a short circuit in their usual cool demeanor. Your presence is like a surprise power surge that momentarily scrambles their usual composure. It's actually quite flattering when you think about it. But how does this nervousness manifest? It could be in subtle ways. She might laugh a bit too loudly at your jokes. Her speech might speed up, or she might ramble a bit. She could become extra clumsy, knocking things over or tripping over her own feet. Here's a fun experiment. Next time you're talking to a woman, pay attention to these little signs. If you notice her exhibiting these behaviors, it might be because she finds you attractive and is a bit flustered by your presence. Remember, though, that true confidence is attractive too. So while it's nice to know you have this effect, always strive to make others feel comfortable around you. After all, the goal is to be approachable, not intimidating. 3. You catch people staring at you. Ever had that feeling of eyes on you, only to turn and catch someone quickly looking away? If this happens to you frequently, you might be more attractive than you realize. These stolen glances are like little visual compliments. They're saying, "There's something about you that I can't help but notice." It's not just about physical appearance either. Maybe it's the confident way you carry yourself, or the kindness that radiates from your smile. But let's break it down a bit. Quick glances followed by looking away. This is classic. "I find you attractive, but I don't want to be caught staring" behavior. Prolonged looks when they think you're not aware. If you catch people looking at you in reflective surfaces or when your back is turned, that's a pretty clear sign of interest. The double take. If people look at you, look away, then look back again. Congratulations. You've just caused a moment of, "Wait, did I really just see that?" Here's a fun way to test this. Next time you're in a public place, pretend to be absorbed in your phone, but actually observe your surroundings. You might be surprised at how many people are sneaking peeks at you. If you notice people staring, take it as a compliment, but always be respectful and kind. After all, true attractiveness goes beyond just looks. It's about how you make others feel in your presence. 4. You're often told you look familiar. Has anyone ever told you that you look like a certain celebrity? If you've heard this line more times than you can count, it might be a sign that you're more attractive than you give yourself credit for. This phenomenon isn't just about having a doppelganger out there. It's often our brain's way of processing attractive features. When we see someone appealing, our mind tries to categorize them, often by comparing them to familiar attractive people we already know. But it goes beyond just celebrity lookalikes. "You remind me of someone I know." This could mean you have an attractive quality that reminds them of someone they like. Have we met before? If strangers often think they've met you, it might be because your face is memorable, in a good way. "You look so familiar." This could be their subconscious way of trying to establish a connection with you. Here's an interesting psychological tidbit. We tend to find familiar faces more attractive. So when people say you look familiar, they might actually be subtly expressing that they find you attractive. Try this. Next time someone tells you that you look familiar, instead of brushing it off, engage them in conversation. Ask who you remind them of. You might get some interesting insights into how others perceive you. Remember, though, that true attractiveness comes from within. While it's flattering to be compared to celebrities or familiar faces, what really matters is the unique qualities that make you, well, you. 5. Friends and family mention how well you clean up. Picture this. You've just put on your best suit for a special event. As you step out, your sister whistles and says, "Wow, who knew you could clean up so well?" If this scenario sounds familiar, you might be sitting on a goldmine of untapped attractiveness. When friends and family comment on how good you look when you dress up, it's not just empty flattery. These are people who see you day in and day out. So when they notice a positive change, it's significant. It's like they're seeing a hidden side of you that doesn't always get to shine. But let's dig a little deeper. You should dress like this more often. This is their way of saying, you've got potential that you're not fully showcasing daily. I barely recognized you. While this might sound backhanded, it's actually a compliment. It means you've transformed in their eyes. You look so handsome, beautiful. Coming from family, this is pure, unfiltered admiration. Here's a fun experiment. Next time you have an event, put in a little extra effort. Take note of the reactions. You might be surprised at how a little polish can bring out the attractiveness that's always been there. Remember, cleaning up well isn't just about fancy clothes. It's about presenting the best version of yourself. So take those compliments as encouragement to let your inner attractiveness shine more often. After all, if you can turn heads at a family dinner, imagine what you can do out in the world. 6. You receive flirty smiles. Have you ever caught a stranger's eye across a crowded room only to be met with a coy smile? If this happens to you regularly, congratulations. You're the recipient of one of the most universal signs of attraction, the flirty smile. These subtle facial expressions are like little nonverbal compliments. They're saying, I see you and I like what I see. It's a fleeting moment of connection, a silent acknowledgement of your appeal. But not all smiles are created equal. Let's break down the taxonomy of flirty smiles. The quick smile and look away. This is the shy person's flirty smile. They're interested, but a bit nervous. The prolonged eye contact with a slow smile. This is the confident flirter's move. They're definitely interested and want you to know it. The smile with raised eyebrows. This is a playful, oh, hello there, kind of smile. It's inviting and curious. Here's a fun social experiment. Next time you're out in public, try making brief eye contact with people. Don't stare, just casual glances. Count how many flirty smiles you receive. You might be surprised. If you find yourself on the receiving end of many flirty smiles, be kind and respectful. A genuine, warm smile in return is often the best response, whether you're interested or not. So if you find yourself collecting flirty smiles like some people collect stamps, take it as a sign. You're exuding an attractiveness that others can't help but respond to, even in the briefest of encounters. 7. People stand closer to you. Have you ever noticed that in a crowded elevator, people seem to gravitate towards you? Or that in group conversations, others tend to lean in your direction? If so, you might be experiencing the attractive bubble effect. Personal space is a funny thing. We all have our comfort zones, but interestingly, these zones tend to shrink when we're around people we find attractive. It's like your charm creates a magnetic field, subtly pulling others closer. Let's break down some common scenarios. In lines or queues, do people behind you stand a bit closer than usual? During conversations, do friends or colleagues often touch your arm or shoulder? At parties, do you find people consistently within arm's reach, even when there's plenty of space? These are all subtle signs that people feel comfortable in your presence, and subconsciously or not, want to be closer to you. Here's a fascinating tidbit. Studies have shown that we tend to mimic the posture and movements of people we're attracted to. So if you notice people mirroring your stance or gestures while standing close, that's a double whammy of attraction signals. So the next time you find yourself in a crowded room and realize you've got more neighbors than you'd expect, take it as a compliment. Your attractive aura is drawing people in, creating a little oasis of magnetism in the social desert. 8. You get asked for help often. Picture this. You're minding your own business in a bookstore when suddenly, a stranger approaches and asks for your opinion on which novel to buy. If scenarios like this are a regular occurrence in your life, you might be more attractive than you realize. Being frequently approached for help isn't just about looking approachable, though that's part of it. It's often a subtle way for people to initiate interaction with someone they find attractive. It's the grown-up version of the schoolyard, "Can I borrow your pencil?" move. Let's break down some common help me scenarios. Asking for directions, even when there are clearly marked signs. Seeking your opinion on a purchase. Requesting assistance with a task that they could probably manage alone. These interactions serve a dual purpose. They allow the person to talk to you under the guise of needing help, while also potentially showcasing your kindness and capability, both attractive qualities. Here's an interesting psychological twist. People tend to like you more after they've done you a favor. It's called the Ben Franklin effect. So when someone asks you for help, they're subconsciously setting themselves up to like you even more. But remember, true attractiveness isn't just about looks. It's about how you treat others. So when you're asked for help, be kind and assist if you can. Your willingness to help others only adds to your attractive aura. So the next time a stranger asks you to reach something on a high shelf or give your opinion on their outfit, take it as a compliment. Your attractive presence is making you the go-to person for those seeking a little interaction with a dash of eye candy. 9. You notice people trying to make small talk. Ever find yourself in an elevator, grocery store line, or waiting room where people seem unusually chatty? If you're often on the receiving end of impromptu conversations, it might be a sign that you're more attractive than you give yourself credit for. Small talk is the social lubricant of our daily interactions, but when it comes to attractive people, it becomes a tool for connection. People will often go out of their way to strike up a conversation with someone they find appealing, using any available topic as an excuse to interact. Let's break down some common small talk scenarios. Weather chat. Can you believe this heat? Translation: I find you attractive and want to talk to you about literally anything. Compliment fishing. I love your shirt. Where did you get it? Subtext: I'm noticing you and want you to notice me too. Shared experience commentary. This line is moving so slowly, isn't it? Hidden meaning. Let's bond over this mutual inconvenience because I find you interesting. Here's a fun social experiment. Next time you're in a public place, pay attention to how often strangers initiate conversation with you compared to others around you. You might be surprised at the difference. So, if you find yourself constantly fielding questions about the weather, local sports teams, or the quality of coffee in the break room, take it as a compliment. Your attractive aura is turning you into a small talk magnet, and people are using any excuse they can to bask in your presence. 10. You're rarely alone in social settings. Have you ever noticed that at parties or social gatherings, you always seem to have company? If you find it hard to grab a moment alone at events, it might be because you're more attractive than you realize. Attractive people often have a gravitational pull in social settings. Like planets orbiting a sun, others are drawn to your energy, charm, or simply your presence. This doesn't mean you're always the center of attention, though you might be, but rather that people naturally want to be in your orbit. Let's break it down. At parties, do you often find yourself in the middle of group conversations? When you arrive at an event, do people quickly approach to greet you? If you step away from a group, does someone often follow to continue the conversation? These are all signs that people value your presence and want to be associated with you. Here's an interesting social dynamics tidbit. People often unconsciously try to befriend or be seen with attractive individuals because it can boost their own social status. It's called basking in reflected glory. So, the next time you're at a social event and realize you haven't had a moment alone all night, take it as a compliment. Your attractive aura is creating a social bubble that others want to be a part of. Just don't forget to take a breather now and then. Even stars need a little space sometimes. 11. Women play with their hair around you. Ever noticed a woman twirling her hair or tucking it behind her ear repeatedly while talking to you? If this happens often, congratulations. You've just witnessed one of the oldest and most instinctive signs of attraction in the book. Hair playing is a classic example of preening behavior. In the animal kingdom, preening is a way to make oneself look more attractive to potential mates. For humans, it's a subconscious way of drawing attention to oneself and appearing more alluring. But let's break down the different types of hair play. The twirl, wrapping a strand around a finger, often accompanied by a coy smile. The tuck, repeatedly tucking hair behind the ear, even if it's not in the way. The flip, a quick head movement to toss hair back, often seen with longer hair. These movements serve multiple purposes. They're self-soothing gestures that help manage nervous excitement. They draw attention to the face and neck, traditionally attractive areas, and they're a subtle way of grooming in your presence. Here's a fun psychological insight. Studies have shown that women are more likely to play with their hair when they're around someone they're attracted to. It's an unconscious behavior that's deeply rooted in our evolutionary past. But remember, while hair playing can be a sign of attraction, it's not a guarantee. Some people just have a habit of touching their hair. The key is to notice if this behavior increases specifically when they're interacting with you. So the next time you're chatting with someone and notice a sudden increase in hair twirling or tucking, take it as a compliment. Your attractive presence might be triggering one of the oldest flirting behaviors in human history. If you're enjoying today's video and feel inspired to take your dating life to a new level, don't just watch, take action. Our free 60-minute strategy call is designed specifically for individuals like you who want to build meaningful connections. During this session, you'll discover personalized strategies to meet more women, boost your confidence, and make every date count. Tap into the expertise of our seasoned coaches by clicking the link in the pinned comment now. Let's transform your dating life together. 12. You're often the subject of friendly teasing. If you find yourself frequently on the receiving end of playful jabs and lighthearted jokes, you might just be more attractive than you realize. Friendly teasing is often a subtle form of flirtation, a way for people to connect with you while maintaining a safe emotional distance. This kind of teasing isn't meant to be hurtful. Instead, it's a way to create a shared moment of humor and test the waters of your dynamic. You might notice friends or acquaintances poking fun at your quirks, giving you silly nicknames, or playfully challenging you on trivial matters. These are all ways of seeking your attention and trying to establish a unique connection with you. Interestingly, this behavior often stems from a place of admiration. By teasing you, people are showing that they're comfortable enough to joke with you, but also that they're paying close attention to your characteristics and behaviors. It's a delicate balance of pushing boundaries while still trying to stay in your good graces. So the next time someone playfully ribs you about your coffee addiction or your inability to remember song lyrics, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are inspiring others to seek a unique, playful connection with you. Just be sure to dish it back out in equal measure. A good-natured back and forth can be the beginning of a great rapport. 13. You're complimented on your style. If you frequently receive compliments on your clothing choices or grooming habits, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might think. These compliments go beyond mere politeness. They're a sign that people are noticing and appreciating the effort you put into your appearance. When someone comments on your style, they're not just admiring your clothes. They're acknowledging your taste, your confidence in carrying off a look, and your attention to detail. You might hear praise for your well-coordinated outfit, your sharp haircut, or even your choice of accessories. These compliments suggest that you have a keen sense of what looks good on you and the confidence to express yourself through your style. What's particularly telling about style compliments is that they often come from people who have no obligation to comment on your appearance. A stranger in a coffee shop or a new acquaintance at a party who goes out of their way to praise your style is likely genuinely impressed by your look. It's worth noting that style isn't just about following trends or wearing expensive clothes. It's about how you put things together in a way that enhances your natural attributes. So when people compliment your style, they're really saying that you know how to present yourself in an attractive way. So, the next time someone praises your dapper suit or your cool vintage finds, take it as a sign. Your attractive qualities are shining through in the way you present yourself to the world, and people are definitely taking notice. 14. You get double takes. If you've ever caught people doing a double take as you walk by, consider it a clear sign that you're more attractive than you give yourself credit for. A double take is an instinctive reaction to something that catches our attention. In this case, your appealing appearance. This phenomenon isn't just about turning heads. It's about making such an impression that people feel compelled to look again. You might notice someone glance at you, look away, and then quickly look back, as if their brain is saying, "Wait, did I really just see that?" It's a subconscious confirmation of your attractiveness. Double takes can happen in various situations. As you walk down the street, enter a room, or even in the middle of a conversation, when someone suddenly realizes how attractive you are. It's not always about physical appearance either. Sometimes it's your confidence, your smile, or your overall presence that causes this reaction. Interestingly, double takes are often more telling than prolonged stares. They're spontaneous and hard to fake, making them a genuine indicator of someone's reaction to you. It's like your attractiveness momentarily short-circuits their normal behavior, causing this instinctive response. So the next time you notice someone doing a double take in your direction, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are making an impact, even in brief encounters, leaving people wanting a second look. 15. People laugh at your jokes, even the bad ones. If you find that people often chuckle at your jokes, even when you know they're not your best material, it might be a sign that you're more attractive than you realize. This phenomenon goes beyond mere politeness. It's a subconscious way for people to connect with you and show their appreciation. When someone finds you attractive, they're more likely to be receptive to your humor, even if the jokes themselves aren't comedy gold. You might notice people giggling at your puns, smiling at your witty observations, or even finding amusement in your everyday comments. This heightened response to your humor is often a sign that they're eager to engage with you and create positive interactions. This doesn't mean you should start telling terrible jokes on purpose, of course. Instead, it's a reflection of how your overall attractiveness enhances people's perception of you. Your charm, confidence, or physical appeal creates a sort of halo effect, making everything about you seem more appealing, including your sense of humor. Interestingly, laughter is also a social bonding mechanism. By laughing at your jokes, people are subconsciously trying to establish a connection with you. It's their way of saying, "Hey, I find you interesting and want to get along with you." So the next time you crack a joke and receive more laughter than you expected, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are creating an atmosphere where people are naturally more receptive to your humor, bad puns and all. 16. You're frequently asked about your relationship status. If you often find people casually inquiring about your love life, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might think. These questions about whether you're single, dating, or in a relationship are often thinly veiled attempts to gauge your availability. You might notice friends of friends, coworkers, or even relative strangers finding ways to bring up your relationship status in conversation. They might ask direct questions like, "Are you seeing anyone?" Or use more subtle approaches like mentioning their own single status and seeing how you respond. These inquiries are usually driven by curiosity and interest, suggesting that they see you as a potentially desirable partner. What's particularly telling about these questions is the frequency and context in which they occur. If you're constantly fielding inquiries about your love life, even in situations where it's not directly relevant, it's a sign that people are actively thinking about you in romantic terms. It's worth noting that this interest isn't just about physical attractiveness. People who ask about your relationship status are often attracted to your overall package, your personality, your achievements, and the way you carry yourself. They're essentially saying, "You seem like a catch, and I'm wondering if someone else has noticed too." So, the next time someone not so subtly tries to figure out if you're single, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are piquing people's romantic interest, making you a subject of curiosity and potential pursuit. 17. Your social media gets a lot of attention. In the digital age, your attractiveness isn't confined to in-person interactions. If you find that your social media posts consistently garner a high number of likes, comments, and shares, it might be a sign that your attractive qualities are shining through even in the virtual world. You might notice that your selfies receive an abundance of heart emojis, your witty status updates spark engaging comment threads, or your Instagram stories get a flood of reactions. This online attention is often a reflection of your overall appeal, suggesting that people are drawn to your digital presence just as they are in real life. What's particularly telling about social media attention is its voluntary nature. People choose to engage with your content, often scrolling past numerous other posts to interact with yours. This selective engagement suggests that there's something particularly appealing about you that stands out in the crowded social media landscape. It's not just about having a large number of followers either. The quality of interactions matters too. If you're receiving thoughtful comments, genuine compliments, or seeing your posts shared by others, it indicates that people find value and appeal in what you're putting out there. Remember, though, that social media is just one facet of your overall attractiveness. While online attention can be flattering, it's important not to let it define your self-worth. True attractiveness comes from a combination of your online and offline presence, your personality, and how you treat others. So the next time you post something and watch the notifications roll in, take it as a sign. Your attractive qualities are resonating with people, even in the digital realm, making you a standout presence in the vast world of social media. 18. People remember your name easily. If you've noticed that people tend to remember your name after just one introduction, or recall specific details about you from brief interactions, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might realize. This isn't just about having a memorable name, it's about making a lasting impression. You might find that new acquaintances greet you by name at subsequent meetings, or that people you've only met once remember specific details about your job or interests. This level of recall suggests that you've made a significant impact during your interactions, enough for people to file away information about you for future reference. What's particularly telling about this phenomenon is that humans have a natural tendency to remember information about people they find attractive or interesting. It's as if your attractiveness acts as a mental highlighter, making details about you stand out in people's memories. This memory effect isn't just about physical attractiveness either. It often indicates that your overall presence, your charisma, your conversation skills, or your unique qualities has left a mark. People remember you because you've engaged them in some meaningful way during your interaction. It's worth noting that this effect can be particularly noticeable in professional settings. If colleagues or clients consistently remember your name and details about your work, it suggests that you're making a strong, positive impression in your field. So, the next time someone greets you by name in a crowded room or recalls a detail from a conversation you barely remember having, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are making you stand out in people's minds, turning brief encounters into lasting impressions. 19. You're often the focus in group photos. If you frequently find yourself positioned at the center of group pictures or notice that you're often the focal point in candid shots, it might be a sign that you're more attractive than you give yourself credit for. This phenomenon goes beyond mere coincidence. It's often a subconscious arrangement by the group or the photographer. You might notice that in casual group selfies, friends tend to position you in the middle, or in more formal group shots, you're often placed front and center. This positioning isn't just about your height or where you happen to be standing. It's a subtle acknowledgement of your visual appeal or charismatic presence. What's particularly telling about this trend is that it often happens naturally, without explicit direction. People tend to organize themselves around attractive individuals in photographs, almost as if your presence helps to anchor the image. It's like you're the visual centerpiece that ties the whole picture together. This focus in photos isn't just about physical attractiveness either. It can also be a reflection of your personality or social status within the group. If you're someone who naturally draws people in or makes others feel comfortable, you might find yourself as the nucleus of group shots. Remember, though, that being the focus of photos comes with a certain responsibility. Your central position often sets the tone for the entire image, so your expression and posture can influence how the whole group is perceived. So, the next time you find yourself automatically ushered to the center of a group photo, or notice that your friends always seem to cluster around you in pictures, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are making you a natural focal point, both in photos and in life. 20. You're told you smell nice. If you frequently receive compliments on your scent, even when you're not wearing cologne or perfume, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might think. Scent is a powerful but often overlooked aspect of attractiveness, and people noticing your pleasant aroma is a subtle sign of their attraction to you. You might find that colleagues comment on how fresh you smell after a long day at work, or friends mention that being near you is always a pleasant olfactory experience. These compliments aren't just about politeness. They're often spontaneous reactions to your natural scent or your choice in fragrances. What's particularly telling about scent compliments is their intimate nature. To comment on how someone smells, a person usually needs to be in close proximity, suggesting a level of comfort and attraction. It's a personal observation that goes beyond visual appeal, tapping into a more primal aspect of human attraction. Interestingly, our natural scent is linked to our genetic makeup, and people are often attracted to scents that signify genetic compatibility. So when someone compliments your natural scent, it might be their biology subtly signaling attraction. Remember, though, that while a pleasant scent is attractive, it's important not to overdo it with artificial fragrances. The most appealing scents are often subtle and complement your natural aroma, rather than overpowering it. So, the next time someone leans in and tells you that you smell great, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are appealing to more than just the eyes, creating a full sensory experience that people find irresistible. 21. People seem to mimic your movements. If you've ever noticed people unconsciously copying your gestures, posture, or even your speaking patterns, it's a subtle but significant sign that you're more attractive than you might realize. This phenomenon, known as mirroring, is a subconscious behavior that people often exhibit when they're drawn to someone. You might catch someone leaning back in their chair right after you do, or using a phrase you just introduced into the conversation. Perhaps you've noticed friends or colleagues adopting your unique gestures or mannerisms over time. These mimicking behaviors are often unintentional, stemming from a deep-seated desire to establish rapport and connection with you. What's particularly fascinating about mirroring is that it happens on a subconscious level. The person mimicking you usually isn't aware they're doing it, which makes it a genuine indicator of their attraction or admiration. It's as if their body is saying, "I like you and want to be more like you," without their conscious mind even realizing it. This mirroring effect isn't just about physical movements either. It can extend to emotional states, energy levels, and even speech patterns. If you find that people often match your enthusiasm or adopt your tone of voice, it's a sign that they're subconsciously trying to align themselves with you. So the next time you notice someone subtly copying your gestures or picking up your catchphrases, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are influencing others on a deep, often unconscious level, making you a natural trendsetter in your social circles. 22. Women drop hints about hanging out. If you find that women often make subtle, or not so subtle, suggestions about spending time together, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might think. These hints can range from casual mentions of shared interests to more direct proposals for future plans. You might notice a woman mentioning a new restaurant she'd love to try, conveniently adding that she hasn't found anyone to go with yet. Or perhaps she brings up a concert or event, saying how fun it would be if you were there. These comments are often thinly veiled invitations, her way of expressing interest without putting herself too far out on a limb. What's particularly telling about these hints is their frequency and context. If you're regularly on the receiving end of such suggestions, especially from different women, it's a clear sign that your attractive qualities are drawing people towards you. It's worth noting that these hints aren't always about romantic interest. Sometimes they're expressions of a desire for friendship or a professional connection. Either way, they indicate that people find you appealing and want to spend more time in your company. So the next time you hear a casual, "We should hang out sometime," or "You'd love this place I know," take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are making you someone that others actively want to spend time with, opening doors to new connections and experiences. 23. You're often the first one greeted in a group. If you've noticed that when you enter a room with friends or colleagues, people tend to acknowledge you first, it's a subtle but significant sign that you're more attractive than you might realize. This phenomenon goes beyond mere coincidence. It's often a subconscious response to your presence. You might find that when you walk into a meeting, the host makes eye contact with you first. Or at social gatherings, you're frequently the first one people approach to say hello. This prioritized greeting isn't just about your physical position in the group. It's a reflection of your social magnetism. What's particularly telling about this behavior is its instinctive nature. People aren't consciously deciding to greet you first. They're drawn to do so by your presence. It's as if your attractiveness creates a subtle spotlight effect, making you stand out even in a crowd. This first greeting phenomenon isn't just about physical attractiveness either. It often indicates that you have a commanding presence, charisma, or an energy that naturally draws people's attention. You might be seen as a leader, a friendly face, or simply someone whose reaction people value. So, the next time you notice you're the first one acknowledged in a group setting, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are making you a natural focal point, drawing people's attention and setting a positive tone for social interactions. 24. People try to impress you. If you've noticed that people often go out of their way to share their achievements or showcase their best qualities when interacting with you, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might think. This behavior stems from a desire to be seen favorably in your eyes. You might find colleagues enthusiastically telling you about their recent work successes, or friends making sure to mention their latest accomplishments when you're around. In social settings, you might notice people trying to steer conversations towards topics where they can shine or demonstrate their expertise. What's particularly telling about this behavior is its underlying motivation. When people try to impress you, it's because they value your opinion and want to be held in high regard by you. It's a subtle form of seeking your approval or admiration. This isn't just about romantic interest either. People might try to impress you for various reasons. They might see you as a potential mentor, a valuable friend, or someone whose network they want to be part of. In essence, they're recognizing your attractive qualities and responding by putting their best foot forward. So the next time you notice someone eagerly sharing their successes with you or going above and beyond to demonstrate their capabilities, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are inspiring others to showcase their best selves, a testament to the positive influence you have on those around you. 25. Women seem to make themselves more available. If you've noticed that women often adjust their schedules or make extra effort to be present where you are, it's a subtle but significant sign that you're more attractive than you might realize. This behavior is often a strategic move to increase the chances of interaction with you. You might find that female colleagues suddenly have reasons to be in your part of the office more often, or that women in your social circle consistently show up at events they know you'll attend. Perhaps you've noticed that certain women always seem to have time for you, even when they're generally busy people. What's particularly telling about this behavior is its consistency and intentionality. These aren't just random coincidences, they're deliberate choices made to be in your proximity. It's as if your presence creates a magnetic field that draws people towards you. This availability isn't just about physical presence either. You might notice that certain women are always quick to respond to your messages or are particularly active on your social media posts. These are all ways of making themselves visible and accessible to you. So, the next time you notice a pattern of increased availability from the women around you, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are making you someone that others want to be around, creating opportunities for connection and interaction. 26. You notice subtle touches. If you find that women often find reasons to make physical contact with you during conversations or interactions, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might think. These subtle touches are often subconscious gestures of attraction and comfort. You might notice a woman lightly touching your arm while laughing at your joke, or brushing against you when passing by, even when there's plenty of space. Perhaps you've experienced someone fixing your collar or removing an imaginary piece of lint from your shoulder. These small, seemingly innocuous touches are often laden with meaning. What's particularly telling about these touches is their unnecessary nature. In most cases, the interaction could have occurred without any physical contact, but the person chose to create that connection. It's a way of establishing closeness and testing the waters of physical intimacy. This behavior isn't just about romantic interest either. Subtle touches can also indicate a level of comfort and trust. People tend to touch those they feel at ease with, so these gestures might also suggest that you have a welcoming and approachable demeanor. So, the next time you notice someone finding excuses to create these small moments of physical contact, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are inspiring others to seek connection with you, even on a physical level. 27. People remember specific details about you. If you've noticed that people often recall particular things you've said or done, even from brief or casual interactions, it's a sign that you're more attractive than you might realize. This remarkable recall isn't just about having a good memory. It's about the impact you're making on others. You might find that acquaintances remember your coffee order from a single cafe visit weeks ago, or that colleagues can recount specific points you made in a meeting from months back. Perhaps you've been surprised by someone referencing a casual comment you made in passing, having no idea it would stick in their memory. What's particularly telling about this phenomenon is the selectivity of human memory. We tend to remember details about people we find interesting, appealing, or important to us. So when someone recalls specific information about you, it's often because you've made a significant impression on them. This memory effect isn't just about physical attractiveness. It's often a reflection of your overall presence, your charisma, your way with words, or your unique perspectives. People remember you because something about you stands out and captures their attention. So, the next time someone surprises you by recalling a specific detail from a past interaction, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are making you memorable, turning even brief encounters into lasting impressions in people's minds. 28. You're told you have a great smile. If you frequently receive compliments on your smile, even when you're not consciously trying to charm anyone, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might think. A genuine, warm smile is often considered one of the most appealing features a person can have. You might find that strangers comment on how your smile brightens their day, or friends often mention how infectious your laughter is. Perhaps you've been told that your smile makes others feel at ease, or that it's the first thing people notice about you. What's particularly telling about smile compliments is their sincerity. Unlike comments on clothing or hairstyles, which can sometimes feel obligatory, compliments on a smile often come from a place of genuine appreciation. Your smile is a reflection of your inner joy and warmth, and when others respond positively to it, they're responding to your overall positive energy. This isn't just about having perfectly straight teeth or a movie star grin. The most attractive smiles are those that are authentic and reach the eyes. When people compliment your smile, they're often acknowledging the happiness and warmth you bring to interactions. So, the next time someone comments on your fantastic smile, take it as a compliment to your overall attractiveness. Your smile is not just a facial expression. It's a beacon of positivity that draws others to you and enhances your natural appeal. 29. People offer to buy you drinks. If you find that people often offer to buy you drinks, whether at a bar, a cafe, or even just offering you a beverage at a social gathering, it's a subtle but significant sign that you're more attractive than you might realize. This gesture goes beyond mere politeness. It's often a way of expressing interest or admiration. You might notice that at social events, people frequently ask if they can get you a drink. Or perhaps when you're out with friends, strangers occasionally send a drink your way. These offers aren't just about quenching your thirst. They're social cues indicating that someone finds you appealing and wants to initiate an interaction. What's particularly telling about this behavior is its voluntary nature. Offering to buy a drink is a low-pressure way of showing interest. It's a small investment that creates an opportunity for further interaction without being too forward. This phenomenon isn't limited to romantic interest either. Colleagues might offer to grab you a coffee, or friends might insist on getting your drink at a gathering. These gestures can indicate a general liking and desire to do something nice for you. So, the next time someone offers to buy you a drink, whether it's a cocktail or a cappuccino, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities are inspiring others to make small gestures of goodwill, opening doors to potential connections and conversations. 30. You're often asked for fashion or grooming advice. If you frequently find people seeking your opinion on style choices or grooming tips, it's a strong indicator that you're more attractive than you might think. This behavior suggests that others not only appreciate your appearance, but also value your taste and judgment. You might notice friends asking for your thoughts on their outfit before a big event, or colleagues inquiring about where you get your hair cut. Perhaps you've been approached by acquaintances seeking advice on skincare routines or fashion trends. These questions aren't just about gathering information. They're acknowledgments of your style and self-presentation skills. What's particularly telling about these requests is the implicit trust they convey. When people ask for your fashion or grooming advice, they're essentially saying, "I admire how you present yourself, and I want to emulate that." It's a form of flattery that goes beyond just appreciating your looks. It's about recognizing your expertise in personal style. This phenomenon isn't just about having expensive clothes or following the latest trends. It's about how you carry yourself, how you put together your look, and the confidence you exude. People are drawn to that overall package and want to capture a bit of that magic for themselves. So, the next time someone asks for your opinion on their outfit or your secret to great skin, take it as a compliment. Your attractive qualities extend beyond your appearance to your sense of style and self-care, making you a source of inspiration for others. So now that you know how to spot all those signs, what's next for you? Discover how women react when they're impressed by you, or learn how to spot the signs she's just pretending not to like you. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.